Boxing here with Fort Worth's next world champ and now pay-per-view star, Eddie the Kid Vazquez. First, I haven't talked to you since your last win back in August, was it?
September, yes, sir.
Of Adon Ochoa. Sensational victory, really good victory. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate it, man.
Way to show for Fort Worth. Just real quick, walk me through that fight. The first round, dominated with the jab, you moved really well. Then the second round, you're off to a great start. What happened?
Man, so, people have been asking me about this for a long time, or ever since the fight. But, like I was telling Coach, I had 100% confidence going in. I felt great. I felt comfortable. And, I've been doing this 18 years, so people always ask, do you get nervous? And I really don't think I do, get really nervous. But I was focused, and then it's almost like when the first round, that first bell hit, it's like I checked out. It was so weird. I don't know. It must have been I think it was almost 285 days that I'd been out of the ring.
5 fights canceled.
Yeah,
right?
so I don't know if it was like ring rust or what, but I just checked out. It's almost like I blacked out, and I couldn't. I remember thinking, what the hell am I doing? This is not what we've been working on, My feet were everywhere. Of course, I always use my good footwork because I'm always boxing. But that was just too much. I never really, settled down. But I remember getting caught with that shot. I winded up too much on a hook, and right in between this window here, boom, I got clipped. I came in too wide with the hook. My feet weren't as planted as they should be. My base wasn't as well or as good as it should have been. And I paid the ultimate price for it. But I remember when that happened, I thinking in my head, I need to slow down. I need to settle down and do what we've been working on, which was, we've been drilling a good base all throughout camp. And I remember thinking, I need to go back to my drills and, hold my ground a little bit more, sit my ass down, and sit down on punches a little bit more, look for more openings, and instead of just trying to box and move around. And I feel like after that, I was winning the round. And then once I got dropped, I came back, and I felt like I finished the round stronger than he did. And so I think the only thing he took advantage of that one little mistake I did, and that was pretty much it, man. But
you got up.
I got up and I bounced back, and it's part of the game, man. And at the end of the day, it was my mistake, and I'm glad that I'm glad he made me pay for it, because I grew a lot from that. I came back to the gym and then right the next week, and I got right back to drilling. I got back to drilling on tightening up my hook and settling my ass down in the ring, man, instead of moving so much.
I want to tell you, you got up. The third round, you boxed well, and then from the fourth round on, you kind of dominated the fight.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I remember it. I literally can vividly remember in my head thinking, I need to click. I need to get back to what we're doing in camp. And whenever I started to do that, I started, like you said, after the fourth round, I settled down and I started to find a little groove there. The gear started to kick in, and I feel like I dominated the last part of the fight.
My wife asked me that because she's watching the fight with me after the third round. My wife said, can he still win? I said, well, he's got to win probably the next 3 rounds because he won the first.
Absolutely.
And he probably won the third, but that's kind of a toss-up. If he wins the last 3 rounds, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then you won the last 3 rounds. You won unanimously, right? It was
Yes, sir. And, that's what I always tell people, these guys, a lot of them won't outwork me, man. I put my whole life into this. And so if we're going to go into the late rounds, that's my fight, and especially if I start to find my groove. Adon Ochoa should have... I don't know if he didn't have any, or I say he didn't have any gas in the tank because I could hear him breathing pretty hard. But if he would have took advantage of me whenever he dropped me, who knows what could have happened. But he just wasn't able to finish the show,
Yeah,
and,
once you let you get back in your groove.
Once you let me get back in my groove and let that conditioning kick in, that's it, man. Once I find a rhythm, that's it, man. And that's definitely what happened, man. And I could hear, it's pretty cool because I could hear his coach. When you're in the bubble, there's not a lot of people there, and so you could hear his coach telling him things. I could hear my coach, but when I could hear his coach telling him to do something and he's not doing it, I know that he's checked out mentally. And I could hear him in between. He would throw combinations and he would pull out. And I could hear his coach telling him to do certain things and he wouldn't do it. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, this guy's checked out, or he's gasping for air. He's short of wind. And so that was my time to, take advantage and put my punches together, man.
Let me ask you about that, the bubble. What was that like? What was that experience like? Was it difficult making weight? And was it weird fighting in front of basically no fans?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't very difficult. Thanks to my nutritionist, man. He helps a whole lot. But I had been there already one time before. I don't know if you remember when I fought. Or I was scheduled to fight Luis Melendez.
Yeah.
And it got canceled literally the day of the weigh-in. So I kind of was familiar with the whole process, and so we got there pretty much on weight. I actually ate all the way up until the weigh-in, and I drank, half a gallon right before the weigh-in. And,
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and so I felt good. I got it down to a science, my weight cut, and I knew that we weren't going to have access to all the things we wanted to have access to lose weight or whatever. So, like I said, we got there, on weight, and everything, played out well. My coach has, been out there a handful of times already this year, been out to the top-ranked bubble. So he's real familiar with the whole process, and that helps a lot, man. Being familiar with everything in there. You don't go into unknown territory. You know kind of what to expect, and that helps a whole lot, man.
I want to talk to you about making weight. You're only less than 2 weeks out now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, less than 2 weeks.
You're heading out next week to California.
Yes, sir. Staples Center.
Staples Center. Tell us about what it's like to be fighting on pay-per-view, to fight on that card with those two legends. I know you know Roy, but what's that like to be fighting on a card like that?
It's an amazing feeling, man. To be honest with you, I never in a million years thought I would share the same ring as Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, especially on their card of them two guys fighting each other. Never in a million years would have thought that.
50s too.
Yeah, so it's it's definitely a blessing, man, and I feel like I definitely earned this spot. Like I said, I told you earlier, I've been doing this 18 years, man, and I put my whole heart into this, man, and my heart and soul every single day, and I'm just very thankful for the opportunity, man, and I'm ready to go out there and showcase my skills to the world, and I think they're expecting probably 1 million plus viewers, so I'm just in here busting ass, man, and at the end of the day, like I tell people, it's a cool opportunity, and I'm very grateful for it, but none of this matters if I don't get the win, and that's all that matters to me. I need to go out there and get the win and execute the game plan, and if I do win and get the title, then we celebrate then. But it's not time to celebrate now or to glorify the position I'm in, because it doesn't matter if you don't get the win.
Early in the year you added a little. It might have been late last year. You added a little extra motivation. You got a daughter. How's the daughter? How's the dad life?
Man, she's great, man, and she's getting big, really
almost
fast.
A year.
Man.
How old is she now?
She's 8 months.
8 months.
8 months today, actually. Or was today the 16th or the 17th?
Today's 16. One of those days.
Yeah, she's 8 months today, and she's getting big, man. She's crawling already, and just motivates the hell out of me, man. Every single day, I have something to actually, to fight for, and to provide for, and so I'm not gonna let anything stand in the way of that, man. And I gotta show her, when she looks back, when she's older, that I worked hard for everything for her, man.
So 2 quick questions, and I'll let you go. I asked Tony, Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence at AT&T Stadium here in Arlington on December 5th. Who do you got in that, and why?
Man, that's gonna be a good one, man. But I'm gonna have to go with Errol Spence, man. He's the Texas boy, and every time he's gotten in there, he's dominated. He's broken his opponent down, and so I'm gonna have to go with Errol Spence. But it's gonna be a good fight. He's been out for a while. He was in a bad accident, and so you don't know how that could affect somebody. Danny Garcia has been in the gym. He's been active. He's been fighting. Still knocking people out. So. I'm gonna have to go with Errol Spence, but you never know, man. That's what makes this a good fight, man. And then I'm glad they're having it here too. That's awesome, man. That's good exposure for Texas boxing, all around in general.
And then the card you're fighting on, the 2 legends, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Who do you got in that one?
I got Mike Tyson, man. I think Mike Tyson only has one gear. One gear is, to come in and whoop your ass, and put you on your ass. So I think Mike Tyson's gonna take it, man. I think Roy Jones is still a great fighter, man. He's got a great IQ. I just feel like a lot of his things had to do with his physical ability, and as you get older, that kind of starts to go away. And I think Mike Tyson is more there mentally, and I feel like he has more fundamentals drilled into his head, and from when he was young, and I feel like that has nothing to do with your physical ability, more so. You're building, like I said, good fundamentals, and I think that that's going to pay the big dividend here.
Then tell everyone where they can find you on all forms of social media.
You can find me on Instagram at Eddie Vazquez TX, or you can find me on Facebook at Edward Vazquez. I appreciate you guys, man. Stay tuned, man. Pay-per-view November 28th, Staples Center.
Fort Worth next world champ, Eddie Kid Vazquez.
I appreciate it, man.
God bless, champ.